It's been a while since I've done a video, but I had a full coat come off on my Golf yesterday, and it was the flow sensor. So I'm just going to do a quick video on how to clean the mass airflow sensor in the Golf, and hopefully that will fix it. If not, I'm going to start off by removing the pipe from the back of the airbox. So just squeeze that and knock that over there, and then you should be able to just pull that off, and then take the sensor. It's much easier with two hands. Take the sensor plug off, and then it's this screw here and this screw here, and that helps you take off the top of the airbox. And this pipe here, just to make it easier, you squeeze, if you can get your fingers in there, and I'm going to do that with two hands. So yeah, basically you squeeze that and pull that off. So there we have it, the airbox is removed. And next step is to remove the MAF sensor, which is this screw here and this screw here. So I'll just quickly whip those off, and then we'll go on. Right, so airflow sensor's off. There's a element just inside there. Basically, just going to take some carb cleaner. You can get proper MAF cleaner, but it's about 4 times the price of this. So, and just give it a good spray in both sides. Right, so what I also did while it was off was take these 2 screws off and pull the actual sensor out and give that a good clean up. And I've given the contacts on the plug and the socket a good blast with contact cleaner, and hopefully those things combined would have just made the MAF sensor work just that little bit better. We'll put it back together and see how we go. So yeah, refitting, just a reverse of what we did before. This only goes on one way. This only goes on one way. Like the screws just don't line up if you do that the wrong way. Get these 2 pipes back on, and while I was in the box I pulled out the air filter, gave that a good clean, and like inside the airbox was just full of dust and crud, so I've given that a good clean as well. I guess the next step is wish me luck. So I'm still getting the EPC fault after cleaning the sensor, so I just got to check the connections, and that'll be the next section. Right, so ordered a new MAF sensor in the end, because that seems to be what the issue was, and that has arrived today. So we're going to check that it's the right one, because you know, eBay, and fit that, and hopefully when we start the car and rerun the diagnostics, it's going to say no fault. We'll see. So it's a good start. The codes match on the outer bodies, so that's a good start. The pins, yeah, see, everything matches up. That looks good. So we'll get that fitted and then rerun the tests. Right, the next step in diagnosing is going to be checking the continuity into the connector. If you take, there's a little black plug on the bottom of the lead. If you take that off, you'll see they're all conveniently numbered. So the first test, and it's easier to do with 2 hands, so I'm not going to physically show you, but the first test, you test black probe onto with a voltage tester on DC mode, the black lead onto the negative and the red lead into terminal 2, this one. And then you need to test the 12 volt ground, which is red probe onto battery positive, and black probe into lead number 3, which is connector number 3, which is this one. And then the third test is the 5 volt. So you go black probe back to negative and red probe into connector number 4. Sorry, I've got all the basic notes written down, so I'll keep referring to that. And you should get 12 volts on connector 2 test, 12 volts on connector 3 test, and 5 volts on connector 4 test. And that will tell you if you've got a signal issue coming into the connector. Right, so ordered a new MAF sensor in the end, because that seems to be what the issue was, and that has arrived today. So we're going to check that it's the right one, because you know, eBay, and fit that, and hopefully when we start the car and rerun the diagnostics, it's going to say no fault. We'll see. So it's a good start. The codes match on the outer bodies, so that's a good start. The pins, yeah, see, everything matches up. That looks good. So we'll get that fitted and then rerun the tests. So there we go. The EPC light has gone off, and it's actually sitting at a much better idle than it has for quite a while. So I think we'll class that as a success. I'm going to do the spark plugs now.